Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I am working on this huge dresser. I've been working on it for a few days, actually. But it's a 12-drawer Ethan Allen dresser. Such high quality, such a great piece. But I've been calling it the Beast because it truly is one of the heaviest pieces of furniture that I think I've ever worked on. Can't complain though, because like I said, it is superior quality. I'm not quite done with it yet, but today I'm going to show you what I'm doing with the hardware for the piece. So if you paint or refinish furniture or have thought about it, you might know one of the biggest expenses that you can have is buying new hardware, especially for a piece like this that has so many drawers, lots of knobs and handles. It really adds up. So I am going to show you how you can take your vintage hardware that might just be grimy and gross and kind of lost its luster and bring it back to life and be able to reuse it and save yourself some money. So let's make some hardware soup. Okay, let's do it. This is my hardware soup recipe. These are some old vintage handles and knobs from a beautiful Ethan Allen dresser that I'm currently working on. And I want to reuse these. I don't want to change out the hardware, but as you can see, they are kind of dirty and dingy looking. So I'm gonna see if we can get them nice and clean. The first thing I'm going to do is lay out an old towel to protect my countertops. You will need some gloves, some Barkeeper's Friend. You can use the spray or the powder as well. And some steel wool. I use the finest grade, which is the 4 zeros. I also have an old toothbrush. And then you're also going to need water and vinegar. Oh, and an old pot that you only use for hardware soup. So I added equal parts of water and vinegar to the pot, and now I'm just dumping in all of that hardware. I'm gonna start up my stovetop here, and then I set my timer for about 20 minutes. And you can see here it's got a good boil going, and I come in and kind of stir it around a couple times just to check it. The 20 minutes is up. Let's cool it down and take it out. Make sure you don't stick your hand in that hot pot. I usually dump out the boiling water, add some cool water, or use a tongs to get it out. Once I lay it out on my towel, then I cover everything with a good amount of the Barkeeper's Friend. I put on my gloves and take my old toothbrush and just work that Barkeeper's Friend into the hardware. Make sure it's all coated front and back of the hardware, and just kind of let it sit and soak for a little bit. Then I come in with the main ingredient, you guys. This is the most important part of the hardware soup, the fine grade steel wool. I just take a piece out and I get it a little bit damp, and then I just start working. I'm rubbing off all of that old grime, and you can already see it here coming clean. Look at that difference. You really want to work the steel wool into the nooks and crannies. I don't mind a little bit of the vintage patina, so I don't worry too much about getting every little bit out, but I do try to get it as clean as possible. Once I did the first round of that, I come in with my paper towel just to wipe back some excess, and here you can see I have half of it done and half of it not, and it's such a beautiful difference. So now I'm just going to continue on with the steel wool and the rest of the hardware. Check out this before and after, you guys, and this isn't even a true before because the hardware has already been boiled in the vinegar and water, so it was even worse, but wow, what a difference. and you just keep scrubbing away using that Barkeeper's Friend and the steel wool. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Here's some of the smaller knobs. They look great too. And here we are, almost finished with my first round of cleaning. Then what I do, you guys, is rinse it off, dry it off with my paper towel, and I come in with a second round of steel wool. I still get it damp, but not as damp as the first time. And you can see the Barkeeper's Friend is no longer on there. It's not like sudsing up at all. This is just to give it another fine once over and get any spots that I may have missed. This hardware is cleaning up really beautifully, but I do want to mention, even if you plan on spray painting your hardware, you do need to clean it first to make sure that the spray paint will adhere. So this recipe is important, not only just to try to save your old hardware, but if you're painting it as well. It really does need to be cleaned no matter what. Finally, I'm taking a dry paper towel and just kind of rinsing everything off. And guys, it looks so good. I absolutely love using this recipe because I love being able to save vintage hardware. If you guys do this, you know buying new hardware is not cheap, especially if you have a large piece that requires several knobs or pulls. And here they are after, you guys. They look so good. I really wish that I would have taken a true before picture. I know I showed you at the beginning of the video, but it's so awesome to compare that grungy, grimy before with this beautiful after. Here's a little sneak peek at what the gorgeous hardware looks like on my dresser right now. I'm not quite done with it yet, so you'll have to stay tuned. Thanks for being here.